Is it live? Okay, I'm not sure if this is live already. And the first thing we need to check is the sound. So the first people who are there, please let me know if you can hear me alright, because we're trying to do this over my headset, so the quality.
Es wird gewunken, auf jeden Fall. Daumen hoch.
People are waving. Yes, you can hear me?
Herzchen werden geschickt.
Hmm?
Herzchen werden geschickt.
Hearts, perfect. So I cannot see what you guys are commenting or waving or hearting. That is, Christian is doing the
Sounds
camera
Gucci.
operation. Huh?
Sounds Gucci.
Sounds Gucci. Christian is the camera operator. He will also let me know if there are interesting questions in the chat. So far the plan is that we are doing a live stream for 2 hours. We're going to build something together. I will give you some behind the scenes infos on how I do my videos, blah blah blah. We will take a short break after 1 hour, just so we can download the file and then we can put the stream on YouTube. And then we will be back live for the second hour after the short break. Now, most of you probably don't know who I am. My name is Laura Kampf. I'm a German maker, designer, YouTuber, I guess. And I've been working with Festool for almost a year now. I mean, I've been using their tools for way longer, but we've been really working together for a year. So when they asked me if I wanted to do a live stream, I said, of course, yes, because it's perfect. I love it. So this is my shop. This is my main area. If Christian can pan out a little bit. So people who've seen my videos will probably recognize this space. This is where I do the majority of my work. I will give you a quick tour and then I will show you the project that we're working on today. This is my table saw area. I got the saw stop a couple years ago. Back then, I don't know if that information is still correct, but back then, when was it, maybe 2 years ago?
Video angehalten.
Video
Ja,
angehalten?
wieder da.
Oh, okay, we're back. Yeah, I always thought that was the coolest thing, that this is the only saw stop in Europe. By now, you probably heard this since you're following the Festool account. Festool, they just came out with their own table saw, contractor saw version of the saw stop. I'm a big fan. So this is where I store my wood, table saw, more saws, window. This is where I keep my screws. I will update this area hopefully soon. Over here is the metal area. Oh, cable, watch out. This is where I do my welding. I have a lathe over there. My beautiful Bridgeport that I only use twice, but I will get there eventually. And this is where I store most of my stuff. So I usually try to recycle as much as I can in my projects. And that's why, or that's my excuse for being a little bit of a hoarder. So I have a thing for lamps, megaphones, beer kegs, that's all. That's stuff that I like to surround myself with. Another obsession is up there, that's all my bikes. Old bike projects, like the beer bike, that's what it's called. The beer bike is there. Parts of the Happy Machine, those are all older projects of mine. Also some future projects, I hope. But that's my shop. We can maybe peek a little bit in the backyard. I don't know how far the Wi-Fi reception goes. But this is...
Gestellt. Da ist er wieder. Da ist er wieder.
Alright, I can't show you the backyard because the Wi-Fi reception is bad. Okay, so today... Oh, hold on, before we jump into the project. This is my...
Ja.
Yeah, this is my camera setup. As I said, I produce videos, so I make a new video every week. And usually I try not to talk in my videos and just have them non-verbal. Right now I make a little bit of an exception because I'm working on the horse box conversion to a tiny camper. It's over there. And in this video series I do talk, but usually I try to explain everything visually, and that means that my videos are very, edit heavy. So I need to move the camera a ton in every project. Usually you can say for a 5-minute video, it's about 200 different shots that tell the story. So after a couple of years of experimenting with tripods, different cameras, different setups, I right now settled on this weird construction right here. It's a very old tripod, together with a magic arm. That means I can loosen it here and then put it in a variety of directions and then tighten it again, and then I have a stable camera setup, more or less stable. And recently I added this monitor to it. So this monitor records, it has no battery, but it records on an external SSD card. That means I can shoot in 4K. Yes, so that's a little bit of background info. As I said, in this video I'm going to build something and show you how I document my work, because that's something that I get requests for all the time, that people want to see a little bit of behind the scenes, how these videos are produced. I usually do this by myself. Sometimes Christian, who is here with us today, is helping me with filming. We shot together today. But for the most projects, I probably shoot around, I would say 3 to 6 days. And Christian unfortunately can't be here all the time. So most of the stuff I shoot myself, and then I edit it on Sundays, and then I upload it on Sundays. And that's the rough picture. Wow, lots of talking. I need some water. So this week's video is a pizza oven that I'm building out of this stainless steel heating tank. It's a huge tank. This is the rest of it. So I cut it open. There's already some stuff happening inside. I welded these plates in. I can explain that later, but basically the idea is, so this will live like this, and then I will have, let me get the stones. You can stay up, I'll get the stones. I will have these oven stones, and they will be all the way up the ceiling, and then down to here, and here. And then on this height, I will have a pull-out drawer with more of these stones. So you can pull the whole thing out, make a fire on here, put it back in, heat up the whole oven, take it out again, push the fire to the back, and then you can make your pizza right on these stones. And the trick is, because my parents have a pizza oven, and I always hate reaching in. You know, you need these long sticks to get the pizza out, to turn it. You want to add more cheese. It's always, you know, a hassle to reach in this super hot oven. So I thought it would be super cool to have a drawer, basically, so you can get to the pizza. This is what I did yesterday, and today Christian and I were working on the vents, so we can control the fire a little bit. So this will be the lid of the oven. It will have a huge handle here and a hinge here, and then, no, actually the other way around. It will have a hinge here and a handle here, and then you can open it, drawer slides out, blah blah blah. And today we made these little vents, so when the fire is still burning, you can control the air intake, which makes it easier to make a really hot fire. And once you have the right temperature, you can close them, and the fire will go for longer, I guess. There will also be a thermometer up here, so you can control it. And what we're building today are little... Christian is laughing, what's happening?
Ob ich dein Freund bin.
No, Christian is not my boyfriend. Jesus. We will make little wooden handles, so these vents are easier to open and to close. And for that, I got some very, 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 very nice wood. Let's go to the beer kegs. I went to the hardware store hardwood store this morning, and I originally wanted to get either olive wood or plum wood. They didn't have.
Yep.
They didn't have either of that, but they had this beautiful red gum. I believe it's from Australia. It's eucalyptus kind. And it's just, if you see the grain and the different colors, maybe I'll turn it around. I think the other side is, oh yes, check this out. It's stunning. And since I want to turn the handles, this is a pretty cool wood to work with because it's very close grained. Not sure if that's the right word. It's not open grained. So the opposite of open grained. It's a tight wood. It's very dense. That's the right word. It's very dense. And it should be easy to turn. But I thought, because I have a lathe, it's not a very good lathe. I bought this years ago, and I don't have the right chucks for to turn smaller things. I only have this chuck that you can put longer stock between. And I don't know, maybe it's because I don't have the right tools. I don't like to work on the lathe that much. And that's why I thought, today I'm going to try to make these teeny tiny handles.
Yep.
Sorry, it seems like we're in between two Wi-Fi signals, so sometimes the video stops. I hope that's not too inconvenient. So I want to build the little handles without using the lathe. And like a good cooking show, I prepared some stuff today just to make sure in case anything goes wrong. This is for the bigger handle, but I will do all of this now. So this is just to back up, and also for glue ups, they take some time. I don't want to sit around for 3 hours and wait for the glue to dry. That's why I prepared this. But from doing the first cuts this morning, I have some pieces here. That's the red gum that I cut off. Oh, this is actually not, is it? Oh, you know what? It's embarrassing.
Da?
It's we should take a fresh cut, because I was in a hurry this morning and I actually cut it the wrong way, so the grain goes like this, and I had a pretty square piece and I didn't pay attention and I cut it apart the wrong way. So I will get a new. Or can we work with this? Oh, this is too small. Let's get a fresh piece of wood. We have a good miter station, so this will only take about 1 minute. Christian, do you have hearing protection? Do you need something?
That's good.
He said he's wearing hearing protection and glasses and the mask, of course. Okay, let's do it. So we have the long stock. Oh, this is so nice. How much do we need? I'd say, let's put on the laser, it's a little bit easier to see. Yeah, that should be more than enough. Let's go with 24. Put in my hearing protection. If there are any questions, if you have any questions, guys, write them in the comments and Christian will let me know. Maybe I should get some dimensions first, or we just, I think we should eyeball it. So usually...
Eye protection.
Huh?
Eye protection.
Eye protection. Eye protection, of course, that's what I was looking for. Did somebody say that?
Ja. Hier drüben lagen auf dem Stahltisch.
Should I put them on?
Ja.
It would look like I'm giving the internet hearing protection. Okay, usually I try not to measure too much, and I actually just released a video about that maybe 2 weeks ago.
Safety squint is enough.
Safety squint is usually enough, but yes, the internet disagrees sometimes. So yes, I'm usually always trying to just eyeball things. So should we do it like this? Yes, I mean there's this little I think I will cut off a little bit more than I need. Oh, haha. All right, maybe we should not eyeball it too much.
Can we see the dog?
The dog is upstairs. He is, he's from Spain, which means he's like 200% hunter. And around this time, when it gets a little bit colder outside and the heat, you know, the sun not goes down, but around this time, he likes to go hunt. And that's usually the time where I keep him inside. When it's dark, it's fine. In the morning, it's fine. But around this time in the late afternoon, he goes insane. I will get him for the last little bit, maybe. Okay, now, we don't want this part, so I think maybe we should just cut this off and then see how the rest looks. All right. Bunch more of this, or maybe we should just take it from the other side because there is this knot and this is not ideal to turn. I mean, I guess we could do it, but since we're only making teeny tiny handles, it would be a shame if it falls apart in the middle. So I will actually cut this part off and see how it looks. Oh, we wanted to shoot the video at the same time. Should I show this? I get the camera in a second. This is much nicer. So I think the prettiest part, I think maybe we should, because this is pretty boring right here, huh? It looks so much, there's so much more happening here, but this is also closer to the grain. I think I will just cut it in the middle and see what's happening inside. Right. That's nice. This is what we need. A little bit of color. So this should be okay. All right, so I will get the camera so I can document my cuts, and I will be right back. So the first shot is always an establishing shot that gives you a little bit of perspective where you are in the shop, what is happening, is it day, is it night, all these things. So that's the establisher. I will close the door because it's too much backlight. My monitor, what's this? Always helps me. Oopsie. Yep. All right, so that's the shot we need. And then let's go for 2.5. That should be plenty. like to show stuff from eye level perspective. Maybe move a little bit closer. Like this. It's too bright. So those are the two cuts. And then I take them, and I usually like to end a scene with some motion. So if I grab them like this, and the next scene, if it also starts with some motion, it's more dynamic. And since the camera is never moving, because I'm shooting by myself usually, I always try to have a little bit of movement in the picture. So I just remember that the object came out of this side, and depending on what the next shot is, I will try to make it work together. But usually I forget about these things, and then but it's still dynamic a little bit. So what's the next step? Let's try to think of. Let's go over to the oven and see.
Jo.
Yeah. Go over to the oven and see what we need. So
Eigentlich immer, ja.
this is obviously way too big. And I think we can also take off the edges. Like we can make some cuts so it is a little bit more round to begin with, because this we have to sand all of this off. So as long as it's still square, I will find the middle. I take a ruler and draw a straight line from here to there and from here to there. It's easier to do when it's square. That's your middle point, because we need to drill a hole in that later. So, and once I have that, I will take off the edges and then decide how long it will have to be. That's a good plan. Wow, this is really, it's building, doing a live stream and doing the video. That's a lot. So I hope if I skip something, maybe we should try to stay on the one side. Maybe I should get the oven over here so the Wi-Fi doesn't skip. Any questions so far?
Nee.
Okay. I will make another establisher so that people know that I'm marking the middle while the stock is still square. Good. Okay. So, whoop, don't touch it.
You're a multitasking beast.
Says who?
Nenne Maus.
Kannst du Stopp drücken gleich?
Jetzt?
Ja.
Jo.
Now I have this. Again, eye level. See, now I forgot to do the motion thing. Either way. Sometimes pointing on stuff and touching things is always easier to direct. What's happening? I never had that, but I also never made a live stream before on Insta. Okay, now the next thing is.
In einigen Wochen deine Bücher zur Recherche vorgestellt.
Oh, where are the books? Yes, those books. Where are they? I think they might be upstairs, or maybe there are some in the back. I will check if I have the books downstairs. We can talk about them. Okay.
Ja, bitte die Bücher.
Ja? Ist scharf? Vorsicht mit dem Rumgetapse. Siehst du? Okay. Okay. 45. Yes. Okay. Boop. And now, got that. I only marked one. There are these little tools that make it easier to mark the center, but I don't have that. Okay. Don't need that much clay. Again, I'm eyeballing this. This is not, it doesn't have to be super precise. I'm just trying to knock off the edges a little bit. It's actually a nice structure, but I think this is good. It could be a little bit more tilted, yes. Is it sharp? Ja, ne?
Ein Stück zu dir. Das Kreuz ist scharf.
Ja, eigentlich muss das Sägeblatt scharf sein.
Dann zu dir. Andere Richtung. Ja. Besser.
Mhm. Kannst du auf Bracket drücken?
Something.
Okay, hold on. Maybe we should have measured this. Nimmt es noch auf? Because I knocked off so much that I made it square again. Okay, let's take a little bit less. And it's also not 100% square. Maybe we should do that too. Yes. Okay. It's annoying because I have to tilt the blade again. I should have done that to begin with. And we were worried that we filled the time of 2 hours with building this knob, but it seems like it's already been an hour to cut this little piece. Okay. So this is the short. Actually, this also has a little bit of a nasty side. Let's clean this off. Okay. And those are the things that I'm of course not showing in the video, not because I'm not because I'm ashamed of the mistakes or miscalculation, but because it's just so confusing and it will take the viewer out of the flow of the process. So this stuff happens to me all the time. All the time. I mess up constantly. So much that I don't even notice it anymore. And sometimes I like to put it in the video, but only if it adds to the story. If it's a distraction, I don't cut it in because it's a distraction. Alright. Now we know it's square. I should have done that before. Wie lange ist der jetzt schon? Nur also zur zeitlichen.
Halbe Stunde.
Ach, okay, krass, dann müssen wir uns noch
Fast beeilen jetzt.
Okay. I mean, it should be a third, right? If we're, how much is this? Oof, I can't calculate that. Okay, then let's do it across. Where's my pencil? Where's my Stift? Habe ich einen Stift hier? Nope. Okay, that's all of them.
Jemand schreibt, do you film the whole process?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that looks better. I actually do a little test now. Nice. That's good. Oh, is the camera running? Is the camera running?
Warte, hast du noch eine? Warte. Jo.
Yes! That's nice. That is nice. Wow, that looks so perfect. Can you guys see that? That's so cool. Oof. Okay. You need to show that.
She shoots videos and builds faster than I do one thing at a time.
Yeah, that's actually funny when I sometimes just build something for myself. It almost feels like I'm moving in light speed because yeah, filming takes so much time, and I enjoy doing both. But yeah, it's just a dedication of a lot of time. Where's this yellow peeking? Okay, this is nice. Is it in focus? Should be. No, it's not focused. There it is. Okay. So now my little center is of course inaccurate because I marked it before I cut it to size, but that's okay. I will sand it off.
It's off center.
Yeah, it's off center.
Are you self-taught of most what you do?
Yes, I, as you might have noticed, did not enjoy a proper education in this. I studied design. When did I start studying design? 12 years ago or something? I don't even know. And during my design studies, I realized that I'm having a better time building actual things than just imagining stuff and building it on the computer. I always felt when I worked with programs like Photoshop or Illustrator or animation stuff that the language barrier between me and the computer is so huge, and it would be so much easier for me to just build it out of styrofoam because it was hard for me to explain the computer what I wanted. And I think a lot of my designing has to do with feeling things and seeing objects in relation to each other and coming up with improvised solutions that I would never theoretically could think of. That's just how my brain works, or how it doesn't work, I guess. So yes, I am self-taught. I looked everything up on YouTube and books and other makers. So what I'm now doing is I will eyeball the middle and try to hold the pencil super tight, and then I just mark all the sides, and that will also give me a pretty cool center. Wow. Now, I'm using my favorite punch. Ow. Hold on, I can do it, I swear. Whoops. And now I will get the oven so we don't lose the Wi-Fi. And then we'll get a feel for proportion. And then we can't forget about the camera, we need to record it. Let me get the oven.
Recherchebücher.
Hä?
Recherchebücher.
Recherchebücher. Ja, soll ich eben hochlaufen und die holen?
Nee, machen wir in der Pause.
I'll get the books in the break. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get the books in the break. Okay. Now, my idea is to have a screw come in here from the back, and then somehow attach these little things to it so we can have little handles. This is still way too big. It needs to be much thinner, not as thin as this, but maybe like this. Yeah. And then, why is this so, I need to get the, something weird. Did I write this? No, it's fine. So something like this, and then the length would probably be 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters would be like this. I think that would be, could even be a little bit less, but you also don't want to be too close to the heat. So maybe 4 centimeters. So if we cut these into, let's say 6.
Did she get a lot of work injuries?
No. Maybe sometimes a little bit. Not too bad though. Okay, that's perfect because I get 4 parts out of this. Yeah, I'll go to the miter saw and cut it there. At least 2, and then we have 2 spare parts.
Jemand fragte, ob Corona eine Auswirkung auf...
Well, so I do some TV stuff. Hold on, let me cut this and then I'll answer the question. We forgot to film it. Should I? I don't want to cut this piece though because it's very close to the blade. You know what? Let's shoot one from further away so we don't see what I'm cutting, and I film doing the cut, and then we have this. Yeah, it's really hard to do 3 things at the same time for me. That's why I forgot to do the shot of this, but we have our scrap piece that I cut wrong, so I can just, I actually can use any of these pieces, because nobody will see it. This looks like a little house. Not a lot of work injuries. Are there other YouTube makers in the audience? I'm guessing most of you are makers of some sort, but are there some people who are into YouTube as well? I would be interested in that.
Liebe Grüße von Shaper auf jeden Fall.
Flo, hi! Yes, Shaper. The battery is almost dead. Okay, so this will be the shot, and nobody will be able to see that I'm actually not cutting this one piece. I'm cutting something else.
Aren't fab? Einer schreibt, just started today with my first video.
Oh, congratulations! The first video is nerve-wracking. I still remember, I remember shooting my first video and it took me weeks to upload it. I shot it and then it took me weeks to edit it and then to upload it, and I was so freaking nervous. But yeah, congratulations on getting started. That's the hardest thing to do. Once you get started, everything will be a little bit easier.
Lawrence is not a maker, but very interested in video making and love your videos, editing angles.
Well, thank you. is nice. Okay, let's go with eye level again. Maybe we can put one.
Ja, wir haben auf jeden Fall from all over the world.
Ja?
Georgia, Virginia.
Wow. I wanted to talk about Corona, right? Well, I didn't want to, but... So I do some TV stuff here in Germany. And all these things, of course, stopped for now. And I also had a couple of speaking engagements, and I usually travel a lot for my work and to meet other makers. And all of these things, of course, did not happen. But my YouTube stuff is not really affected. I don't think it, because I think a lot of channels blew up because so many people were watching YouTube. I think everything stayed pretty much the same. I'm just so thankful that, you know, I have sponsors supporting me and that they are okay, and fan support and all these things. So I think I can count myself to one of the lucky ones that, you know, are not terribly affected by this. Yes, so that's for Corona. So they are still too big. This is also...
Phil Vandelay sagt, I have a channel and Laura has always been an inspiration.
Thank you. Didn't I mark the center somewhere? Let's do it again. Yep. Ooh, this is pretty dead on. Check this out.
Some new better slip maskina.
What?
What is this?
Okay, so we have the center. We should film that too. What?
Do you drink coffee?
Yes. Yes, I would love a coffee right now, actually. I think I need some oil. I've never worked with this wood because it's so expensive for this slab that I butchered so far. It costs 70 euros just for proportion, because sometimes, at least for me, it's very hard to calculate how much money goes into these projects. And it's with wood and steel. I still never know what to expect when I go to a store. Yes, but that's probably the only time I will work with this. I could not build furniture out of that. That's too expensive. Oh, I should have worn my safety glasses. All right. Next thing is we need to know the diameter of the screw and how to attach this. And I think just screwing it onto a wood screw is not a good idea. I think we should go with something more substantial so we can replace. Oh, sorry about burping. It's the mineral water. So we can replace them. And I have these brass dowels that might be good for this. Where are they? Oh, this is. I've had this thing since I started making stuff, and back then these sized little cubbies were enough. I'm slowly growing out of this, but this is still one of my #1 resources because, yes, I don't like to plan, I like to improvise, and yeah, I hate interrupting projects because I need to go shopping for some screws or washers. And that's why this whole cabinet and also all this stuff, basically.
Daniela Düsentrieb.
That's my favorite one. That's all invaluable. I could not work without these things. So check this out. Those are brass dowels. I think they're for walls.
Metall.
Mauerdübel, ne?
Yeah.
Mauerdübel.
Yeah.
So yes, they're a little bit flexible. You drill the hole. They have this beautiful knurling here. Oof. And then when you put the screw in, they expand a little bit, and they should be plenty strong to hold it. Cool. Now we need to know...
On average, how many hours do you spend per week working on projects?
60 to 80, I would think. No, because I'm usually working through the weekend. So if 40 hours is a regular work week, yeah, probably, yeah, 70. But it's also, it doesn't really feel like, you know, it is work, I understand. But also this right now doesn't feel like...
Yep. What's the story behind Smudo's name?
Smudo, actually we should listen to, can we listen, does anybody of you know, can we listen to music on a live stream without getting into trouble? Because then we could listen to a song of the German rap band that Smudo is.
Liebe Grüße aus Kasachstan.
Nice.
By the way.
So this is M6. And I think that's perfect because they will...
No, kann man nicht.
We can't? Okay. So Smudo, I'm not a huge fan, but when I was younger I always listened to Die Fantastischen Vier, which is a German hip-hop band. And one of the... Yeah?
Yeah.
One of the singers is called Smudo and I always loved the name, so I think it's a good dog name. Yes. Hold on, let's check this. So they will... Yes. Yes. Okay, maybe we need to do some sanding afterwards, but this is... And then we need a washer.
What do you listen to while you work?
Podcasts, mostly. I listen to... look at this. Or let's leave it like this and drink a beer. Podcasts mostly. I listen to a lot of true crime stuff. I listen to some... I actually listened to a German hip-hop podcast called Schacht und Wasabi. That's my new obsession. And I started playing The Last of Us 2. And now I'm listening to a podcast that recaps the first game that was released 7 years ago. And that's a podcast that I'm super excited. I cannot wait for the next episode. I'm actually really anxious. After this, I will listen to the episode, I think. Do we have everything? No, we need to measure, first of all, the battery stat. That's my number one bottleneck in the shop is empty batteries. Not for my power tools though, it's usually just this camera. Nice.
Mopemaster grüßt uns beide.
Mopemaster, I will trade some of the red gum wood for some plum wood if you want to. Where's the screws? Here. Now, let's see. This is... Shit, I can't read this.
Oh, auch mal hier Kudos für mich. Super Kameraführung und Moderation, Christian. Ist echt eine Herausforderung, Laura zu filmen.
Ja, das stimmt allerdings.
Oh, Anna ist auch da.
Ah, geil. Hallo, Anna. Also, 7,5. Let's establish these little gadgets. Do we do... No. Let's just show how we drill into this. So, 7,5. Now, then that's probably the trickiest thing of the whole build. Of course, 7,5 is gone. Where is it? I'm sorry.
Ein kleiner ein bisschen rühren.
Nee, hier wird nicht gerührt. Ich habe den doch heute noch benutzt, also deswegen fehlt er ja auch. 6,5, 7. Was it on there? I mean, I can also take... Okay, Festool, if you're listening, I need a new 7,5 drill. I know, those are the Forsters. I had it! Today is not my day, because I lost a lot of stuff today already.
Was ist deine Meinung zu Centrotech?
I love Centrotech. I have to do this in English, so I hope it's okay if I answer in English. But for those people who don't know what Centrotech is, it's this It's a Festool exclusive. They came up with this. So you have this thing, I don't even know what it's called, and it accepts a regular chuck somehow. Right. So you can, well, actually we can use a 7.5 from the other set then. You can have this, but it also has this Centrotech thing, this little adapter thingy, and that accepts all of this. So there is no need to chuck something in here. It's like quick release. It's always perfectly centered, and they have this whole system for all their accessories, which is actually, it makes things so much faster, and the set comes with these all kinds of stuff. This is one of my favorite ones. It's a self-centering bit. So when you're drilling into a hinge or something that has a, I don't have anything now, but something that has a little hole, you can just, it self-centers. Yeah, it's really good. Oh, that's the timer. Do we have to take a break now?
Ja, ein paar Minuten haben wir noch.
Okay, so in a couple minutes we will take a quick break. But then we will be back, and then I will show you, hopefully, how to turn these little knobs without a lathe and make them look super pretty. And then we also do some Q&A, although I think we're doing this during the build, so there's no need to, well, we'll see. In the meantime, unfortunately, I can't find my 7.5, so I will use this chuck and look for my other drill bits. They were somewhere. I borrowed them. I gave them to a friend, and that's why they're not. They're usually always underneath. Jesus. Good thing we're taking a break.
Ich habe auch immer das Gefühl, dass 50% meiner Werkstattzeit fürs Suchen drauf geht.
Ja, aber echt, ey. Aber ich hatte zwei neue Sets hier rum.
Okay, lass mal Abmod machen.
Okay, see you later. Alright, and we're back. Are people there already?
No.
No, let's wait and see if we have somebody to test the sound for us. So if you hear this, please let me know if the sound is okay, and then we can continue on the quest to find a 7.5 drill bit. Ja?
So, wir haben wieder 370.
Leute da?
Ja,
wow.
390. Ja,
wow.
Guter Moderator.
Wie viele waren das denn gerade schon?
Im Schnitt 160.
Wow, okay, cool, let's go.
Sebastian sagt, sound is great.
Sound is great, thank you. So, thank God I have this spare drill bits. Although I, of course, prefer Centrotech. Now, the trickiest thing, and we should definitely film this because chances are that I heard myself come pretty high. The trickiest thing is to drill a straight hole into this. You know what, maybe we should have at least a little pilot hole. And use a wood, because these are the wood drill bits. Mm. They are a little bit better because they have this little, I have the feeling that it's easier to drill something straight when you have it in your hand than chucking it in a chuck and you don't have any control at all. But this is, of course, not a very common technique. Ooh, this is pretty off. There should be a better way to do this. No, this is completely off.
How do you find out how to use the tools and all their features?
Like this. I drill in my hand and then see if it works. No, as I said, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but this feels, well, it's not perfect. It's actually not perfect at all. What am I doing? But it's okay because it's not very straight, but we will get rid of a lot of this either way, remember we want something that is almost as thick as this. So even if the angle is off a couple degrees, we'll probably be able to sand it off. If not, I have spare parts. So let's film this. Film this. Yes. That's nice. That's a nice picture, I think. Is it in focus? Yep. Okay. Oh, thank God it fits. That would have been super bad if I made all this fuss about the 7.5 drill bit and that it's too big.
How much footage do you use in your video?
So I, as you can witness now, I only shoot what I need. So I never shoot anything that I don't need. So I never set the camera up and then let it run. I only ever film for a couple seconds because I will only use a couple seconds in the video. And I prefer, like I edit to music, as I said, I don't like to talk too much. And I prefer songs with a BPM around 90 to 110. And I filmed so many videos by now that I pretty much only ever film as much as I need to fill this pace of 90 to 110 BPM. This probably doesn't make any sense at all, I'm sorry. Okay, why is there MF? It never said MF before.
Manueller Fokus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then it should have said that all the time. I've never seen it. Okay. Let's show the camera what we're doing. We have this little dowel. And then we put it inside. Bloop. Oh, that's cute. Okay.
And now for some life hacks.
Now for some life hacks. The next thing we need is a long M6 screw and a nut and an angle grinder, because I am now trying to make an adapter that I can put into the wood piece and also put into my chuck.
What camera and lens?
What camera and lens? Yeah, show them, Christian. You can explain. I look for M6.
Yeah, we are doing our best on the Sigma FP with the 45mm lens.
Okay. What I'm doing now is I need to cut off the head so I can chuck it. I'm using my vise, of course. I would never hold it in my hand and cut it. And I'm also using my eye protection, which I can't find, so I will take my sunglasses. That's it.
How about the other camera?
My Canon. I haven't used the Canon in, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months. The Canon was great, and I loved all the lenses I had to work with, but I decided to change my whole setup to this setup with the Magic Arm for flexibility and speed, and the Canon camera was simply too big for the Magic Arm to hold it. That's why I got the Sigma, because it's compact. Okay, so this is in here. We need, where's the nut?
In der Dings, in dem Klotz.
Ah, hier ist auch eins. convenient. Okay.
Film?
Oh ja, Film.
Oder beim nächsten Mal Film?
Nee, hast recht. Ah ja, dann muss ich das auch nochmal machen. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy how much time filming, work time filming adds to a project.
When will the pizza be ready for me to come taste it?
Oh yeah, hopefully soon. Okay. It's in focus, maybe a little less bright. Okay, so we're showing now the camera that we have this little piece of rod and that we are chucking it. Okay. And that was the picture. And now we're showing the camera that we will drill this, but actually let me try this before I show it. Ooh, this is nice. Why is it spinning? It should not be spinning. I think the dowel is not grabbing. I'm not sure if that's a problem. It could be okay.
Noch nicht weit genug drin vielleicht. Musst du die Konter zurückdrehen.
Ja, stimmt. Ja, das ist weit genug drin.
Warum nicht? Oh Gott.
Hä?
Eigentlich nicht.
Yes, you're right.
Ein Screenshot.
Wieso?
Alles gut.
Oh oh. Haben wir einen Troll im Publikum?
Nein.
Okay.
Alles gut.
Okay, so on Sunday's video you will see that all this work that we're doing right now is probably...
Festool Griechenland würde sich darüber freuen, wenn du sie besuchst.
Yeah?
Festool Griechenland.
Oh, yeah, I would like to come.
Oh, and which is your favorite Leatherman? Fragt Flo.
Okay, hold on. This is going to be a 3-hour live stream now. No, my favorite Leatherman... Hold on. Yes, here we go. So it's getting a lot tighter. Is the P2. That's the one I have right now. And the reason is you can open it with one hand. That is the reason why I love this one. And I love the K2 because it's a knife that is just badass. So enough commercial for a different brand. Sorry, I hope that was okay. It was a question. Okay, now let's see. Like we wanted to show the camera what we're doing. Maybe a different angle. Maybe we go a little bit closer because it's interesting. Okay, yes, this is nice. I love it when there's so much out of, like so much, well, depth. Is it so much or so little depth of field?
Much.
Okay, so you can see it has a little wobble, but I think it will be fine. Yeah. Wow, now Christian is pulling the focus and making the stream. Look. Na, muss ich jetzt einmal scharf stellen? Ja. Okay, jetzt, und dann. Yeah, there it is. Okay, now comes the dangerous part. Yes, let's see. Okay, is the battery fresh? No, let's get a new battery for this one. Let's get a new battery two maybe. This was my idea. And I tried something similar years ago with a little rotary tool, but never with a big ass Festool angle grinder. Sorry, do we have two batteries? No. Is this one charged? Yes.
Double Action Cameraman, ein Wort. Was ist dein Lieblingswerkzeug?
I think my favorite, it's probably the angle grinder. Yes, and the track saw. Angle grinder, track saw, and a proper drill would be the first 3 tools that I would suggest buying, and those were actually the first 3 tools that I bought. Alright, cool, let's get a fresh floppy disk, or what's the name? Let's call it floppy disk. Fresh floppy disk.
Sogar meine Tochter Lea, 8 Jahre, schaut zu, versteht zwar nichts, aber findet Laura voll cool.
Hallo Lea, schön, dass du zuschaust. Okay, you ready for this? Should we get eye protection? I think we should get eye protection.
Which is your favorite Festool accessory?
Okay, my favorite Festool accessory is the Forstner bits, because, and I haven't seen that anywhere else, only Festool does that, I believe. You can kick out this little centering bit, which makes sure that you are centered with your Forstner bit. You can kick it out like this and replace it. Oh my god, did I lose it all? Oh no, I have it. I have a second set. It's in the second set. I'm sorry. There is a little drill bit that I don't have in this set, obviously, because I use it so much. But you can put a long drill bit in there, which means you can make a very, very deep hole with these Forstner bits, because you can center it from both sides. I hope that makes sense. The Forstner bits are great, but no joke, I'm a big fan of the whole Centrotech system, because everything that makes my work faster, or that allows me to work faster, I'm a fan of. And the Centrotech is huge help.
Welches Werkzeug würdest du einem Azubi empfehlen, was er immer braucht?
Für was denn? Also, Azubi von was denn? Sag mal von was. And now, let's try this. Das geht voll gut.
Riecht auch gut.
Soll man rausgehen? Ja, ne? Ja. Alles klar? Alright! Oh, we forgot to film, but we'll do another one. This is so much faster and easier than I thought, and now it's perfectly centered too. Alright, okay, let's get some shape.
Wow, that's scary.
Hi, das ist doch voll gut. I think it could be a little bit thinner even. Maybe the same diameter as the washer. That might be a good idea.
Power clamp double action camera, man.
Okay, so this is the rough cut. Let's now get some sandpaper and do the fine shaping. I will do the camera work on the second piece, because this was way too exciting.
Schreiner-Azubi-Werkzeug. Welches hast du jeden Tag in der Hand?
I think what's absolutely underestimated is a good. I always like to use both a wooden ruler and a tape measure, and I think these wooden rulers that are clear coated and not painted in a color, no commercials on it, just clear coated. That means you can see the wood that's always a better wood quality. Those are highly underestimated. Power tools, I would start with a good drill, because you not only decide on a drill, you also decide on a battery system, because usually the drill is the first tool that you would buy, and I would rather save up for a good drill and an according good battery system that will go with future tools you might purchase, than to buy a drill and then switch later because you don't want to have your shop full of different chargers. So probably a good drill. Is that a nice shape? I'm not sure. I want it a little bit more edgy. A little bit harder edges. This is so soft. But let's see how it looks.
Hier haben sich anscheinend Leute hinzugeschaltet und wissen nicht, was du tust.
Was? Sind die auch live?
Ja.
Nah. I mean, it doesn't look bad, does it? I just want it to be a little bit more edgy. Let's give it a edge. Did I say edge? Maybe we should try and get this with a file.
Oh ja, so ein kleiner.
Nope, I think angle grinder is better. Let's do the angle grinder again.
Oh, habe ich die Bücher verpasst.
What?
Habe ich die Bücher verpasst.
Ah, die Bücher. We forgot the books. Yeah, I'll see about the books. Let's finish this project first. Oh, another thing that's very underestimated are these sanding pads. They come in they have two different kinds. One is the softer one, and the other one is the harder one. And they are incredible. I use them all the time, especially for stuff like this. So easy to get a good finish. Ooh. Nice. Right, okay, let's get some finish on. And then, no, I did not use my knife for that. Okay, this is the beauty shot. Move close. Ready?
What was your very first project as a maker?
I built a speaker into a Batman figurine that I had, and I was super proud. And I used it to listen to like audiobooks to fall asleep. I had the Batman figure sitting next to my bed. It was great. I think that was probably one of my... I also built a tattoo machine. I should have that somewhere here. I still have the tattoo machine. Okay. Now, you need this out. I want to see how it looks before I make the other one. Because if I like it, we can make the second one exactly like this. And if we don't like it, we can do it. Did I have the screw? Yes.
Was machst du, wenn du mal eine Aktion vergessen hast zu filmen und es nicht mehr nachholen kannst?
Yeah, I try to fake it, like we did before when I forgot to film the cutoff. I try to fake it, or if it's not possible, I try to... Sometimes I write stuff on tape. Oops. But usually there's always a way to save it.
Did you use the tattoo machine?
Not on myself, but it was back in design school, and I actually bought at the butcher. I bought some pig's ears and tattooed them. It was disgusting because it was during the summertime and it was very warm, and I sat there for a week with unrefrigerated pig's ears.
How did your time at Afrock influence your workflow?
Wer ist das? Who is this? This must be an old co-worker. Well, Afrock was the first job that I had where I had to use table saws or power tools, and it was interesting. It was my Karate Kid education. I learned how to hide my frustration.
Todor.
Todor, yes. No, Afrock was great. It was actually, I learned a lot there. Because
The love to Festool.
What is that?
The love to Festool tools.
Yes, that's true. So Afrock was my first job where I used on carpenter tools, and that was the first time I had access to power tools, and that was great because, yes, you learn a lot when you work with professional machinery. Okay, there is a little bit of a...
What was the biggest failed project?
The unrideable beast bike was pretty epic. And I tried to build a collapsible camping table that did not work out at all. Yeah, there were a couple ones. So we need to grind this off a little bit. But do we like this even? I think it's cool, right? I think it's cool because it feels a little big. But if you imagine that this whole thing will be huge, then I think we're good again. Also, we need a little bit of distance to the heat. It feels very ergonomic, other than that it's stopping here. But yeah, we can deal with that pretty quick.
What was your best project?
My best project is always my recent project, so this is the best thing I've ever built, of course. I don't know if you can still see that online. I think I did a video for Discovery Channel or Science Channel last year with Adam Savage and Simone Yetch, and we took cars from the junkyard and built weapons onto them, and then we took them to the desert and had a death race. And that was pretty cool because we only had 3 days, and I think I still like how my car came out, so I'm very happy with that.
How do you decide what to build?
Whatever I'm interested in. And of course it has to work as a video. There are some projects that are too big or too small or too similar to something that I have done before, and I won't do them. I might do them in my free time, but not for video production. Okay, so, but this is just a matter of one washer. We need one more washer, but I don't have to do that in the live stream, but one more washer and this will be golden. You like it? Christian?
Total.
Total? Machst du, dass gut aussieht? Yeah. Alright. Yeah. How much time do we have left? Should we do the other one, or should we answer some questions, or should I get the books?
Maybe I should get the books.
Ja.
40 Minuten noch.
Haben wir noch? Oder sind wir schon dran?
Nee, 20 Minuten sind wir dran. Im
Ja,
zweiten.
okay, dann machen wir noch eins. Let's do another one. Because I didn't film the first one. Was haben wir denn alles nicht gefilmt? Das Reindrehen haben wir gefilmt. Huh? Alright, let's do the center cut, and I'm happy to answer more questions. This is fun. Maybe this time I get it better.
Hast du schon ein neues Projekt im Kopf, worauf du dich freust?
I mean, I'm looking forward to... Should I repeat the question in English as well? If there's a project... Yeah, that would make more sense, right? He asked if there was a project that I'm looking forward to, and I'm really looking forward to finish my horse camper. But I'm also happy to take little breaks from it every now and then because this project is just overwhelming. Oh my god, whoosh, you grippy little drill bit. Because it's so much to think about, and yes, and I like to take little breaks from it. But yeah, and yeah, no, I'm honestly, like, all the projects are pretty much the same for me. I'm looking forward to every project. It's always, or let's put it the other way around, I never start projects that I'm not looking forward to. I cannot get myself to do something that I don't want to do, which makes me a horrible employee, but a very good freelancer or a self-employed person, because whenever I have the interest to start something, I'm super hyped to do it, like this oven. I had this one idea yesterday that there should be a jar where we cook on, and that's so motivating. Once this fire sparks, there's absolutely no stopping me. Unless I can't find the washer that I'm looking for, then I have to stop for a little bit. But I think I have a little washer thing right here.
Arbeitest du lieber mit künstlichen Materialien oder mit natürlichen?
Natürlichen. I always I almost pretty always only ever use natural material. I mean, unless is fabricated steel, that's a natural material, right? So he or she probably means plastic. Yeah. I actually have a piece of plastic that I'm excited about. It's right here. And that's recycled shampoo bottles. That's from the Precious Plastic guys. If you're into recycling plastic, you should definitely check them out. And that is something I would like to work with, but other than that, I am not so much into plastic. Yeah, so natural materials. Das haben wir alles gezeigt. Eigentlich nur.
Was hättest du gerne mal gebaut, aber keine Verwendung oder nicht die Mittel, um es zu realisieren?
Gute Frage. I don't know. That's a good question. Stuff that I wanted to build, but I didn't have to fund. I mean, I guess the end goal someday would be to have a house that I actually live in, and then to have the goal to build every single piece of furniture in that house and make it really fit my needs and my style and my universe. That would be pretty cool. So I am looking forward to someday starting a huge project like that. That will probably never be finished too. That's something that I like about the house camper, because it already feels like I will never really finish this. It will always be in progress. And the house is something that would be pretty cool. All right, now we're taking our time to set this up, because this is for this portion of the video, this is the most dramatic scene. And then we will have a top shot.
Wo ist Smudo?
Smudo is upstairs. I will get him when I get the books. This is cool.
Hatten wir schon, was dein Lieblingstool von Festool ist?
My favorite Festool tool, or the first one that really convinced me that Festool is the brand that I want all my tool suit to be, from a creative tool suit, was the track saw, because it makes so much sense. It's especially when you start building things and you need a tool that's very versatile and can do a lot of things, then I would highly suggest getting a track saw. Alright, now, that's the shot.
The drill grinder as she currently invented it. Your favorite tool.
Yeah, I have a question. Have you seen that technique somewhere? I would be interested because I am sure somebody did it before. So let me know if you have seen this weird technique. Okay, I have this.
Stop. Ja.
Hast du gesehen, dass das so zurückgegangen ist?
Der Gerät? Habe ich nicht drauf geachtet.
Oh, this is so good. It's perfect. And the color is beautiful. Nice! Okay, how long is the other one? Because now the trick is to do them roughly the same. Let's see. So, this is 5.
Die Kombination ist bewährt.
Ja? That's good. 5 und das Ding ist...
Gambiara.
Wer ist das?
Schreibt jemand. Katharina Einis. I used it once.
Okay.
Mhm.
Alright. Let's get one more shot. And then should be explained.
They should sell them in a Laura Kampf special edition package.
Yep, I wouldn't mind. The set should come with a mask though. Some dust collection. The Festool dust collection is actually really good. I was always too lazy to put it on, but ever since I have the system, I'm getting a little bit better about that. Okay, now.
Hast du noch flexible Lichtquellen oder nutzt du nur die Lampen an der Decke?
Ich habe zwei. I have 2 lights. 2 of those. One is upstairs right now for my pieces to camera, but those are the lights that I use. The first one is actually a little bit nicer, I think. This one is okay too. Right, now the beauty shot for the camera, and then I will run upstairs, get the books, get Smudo, and we can do some last questions if you want. Christian's laughing the whole time. You guys must be so funny in the chat. I think I'm missing out.
Machst du die Tomatensauce für die Pizza mit Tomaten aus dem eigenen Garten?
I hope so, but the tomatoes are going wild in my garden right now. But I doubt that they will have fruits until Saturday. Jesus, dust. My plan is to have the oven done on Friday. Dust in my eyes, even though I was wearing a glass. I think sometimes this could be counterproductive because the dust gets caught under the glass and then, well, either way. Okay, is this in focus? I think so. All right. Whoop. It's running. Oh, we have to explain what this is, otherwise there will be a lot of questions.
How do you keep your cameras clean from dust?
I don't. I I have some stuff that I always keep in stock, and that's here. It's the holy wooden rulers, the tape measures, my ear protection, Leatherman, and some UV filters that I keep spare parts of. That's very important to my process. Okay, let's show the pre-wax. Oh, also, there's one more info. So, I mean, you know that there are trolls on the internet, right? And I like to put bait in my videos so they jump on this one thing and don't bother me for the rest of the video. And this will be the moment that I create just to get the trolls busy so they leave the rest of us alone. Watch this. You will not believe how many comments I will get for using a knife to open a can. They will go insane. Their heads will explode. Alright. Okay, that is it. Now we just need the last shot of installing the knob, and then I can go get Smudo and get the books. I need a screw.
Die Festools feiern sich hier gegenseitig ab.
Ja?
Die Festools und Shaper-Tools.
Ja? Come on. All right. Here we go. Nope. Good thing I brought two.
What is it like to work with Laura?
Ja, Christian, wie findest du das? Wie schön findest du das?
Holt mich hier raus. Get me out of here.
Okay. For some reason, this is hard.
Liebe Grüße aus Usbekistan.
Wow. Grüße zurück, meine ich natürlich. Nicht wow. Okay, this is... I think I need to put some CA glue on this towel because it's a little bit loose. The other one holds much better. I don't know what happened here. Huh?
Da ist noch Spiel drin.
Yeah. Okay, but... this is so tight. Yeah, it will need some... yeah, nice. Chameleon pizza oven. I like it. Okay. Christian, are you okay for 2 minutes while I get the books and Smudo?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave my headphones here, otherwise they will disconnect. You can also talk into the mic.
The AF Rockers are proud of you. Was ist denn da? Was ist da los? Wer ist da? 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 Ist da die Maus?
Alright, okay, don't let him in there. Smoothie! Huh?
Was ist deine Lieblingsecke in Lauras Werkstatt?
Yeah, this one is.
Caro sagt Smooth.
Alright, so here are the books. Talking of Afbock, this is actually one of my former co-workers borrowed it. So I still have it. If you ever want it back, please let me know. I'm taking good care of it though. This is a book that you learn or that you get when you do the official woodworking apprenticeship. Was heißt denn Ausbildung? Apprenticeship or whatever. Like you go to school for 3 years and work in a production for 3 years, and I didn't do that, so I don't know anything about it, but I borrowed the book, and the most important information for me at least is this, and that's an overview of how high is something. Other than that, it is very, very technical, but it gives you a good overview about all the tools, about, you know, different kinds of woods and the joinery stuff, but it's very, very technical. I don't understand half of this. I always like to look at the pictures. And this is a book, I don't know when I got it, but this is actually pretty cool. It also has the basics, different kinds of woods. I like that they give you an overview of how it would look with a little bit of finish. And what I love is, where's the page this? They have these wild, like explosion drawings. And that is very, very helpful. They also talk about the anatomy of certain things, and it's very helpful if you're constructing a table to see close-up shots of how joints would work. Yeah. This is a really good book. I would definitely recommend this one, but this is probably the more proper book, the official book. Oh wow! Christian sneezed without sneezing, like he didn't even make a sound. All right, is that it? Are there more questions? Should we get closer look?
Wo hast du dir diese Qualität an Arbeit angelernt?
This high quality, you mean? It's hard to answer. I mean, I think everybody has their own standard, and this is mine. For somebody, this would be super sloppy. I think it's beautiful.
Jemand will was über Ernst Robert wissen.
Ernst Robert?
Ja. Der.
Nee. Yeah. No. Let's stay to the topic. Yeah. More questions? Otherwise, I think we can call it a day. Christian and I had a long day because we did all of this.
Jemand fragte noch, ob dieses Jahr 10 Makers stattfindet, or is it?
I wanted to do. There was a plan to do another 10 Makers event, but because of Corona, we couldn't plan it properly. And this time, I wanted to do it right and have sponsors, so we can actually. I mean, I paid the people last time too. It was sponsored too last time, but it was very tight. The budget was very tight. And this time I wanted to do it right and get everybody accommodation and all these things. So yes, it's impossible to plan that right now. Maybe next year. Yep. All right. Well, first of all, thank you Festool for letting me take over your precious account. Thank you for trusting me with that. I hope my angle grinder drill trick didn't disappoint. Thank you guys for stopping by and for watching. And yes, if you're interested, if you haven't seen my work, check out Sunday's video. You will see all these shots that we took today. In the video, it won't be more than 20 seconds, I guess, or maybe a little bit more. But yes, I'm excited how the pizza oven turns out. I hope maybe one day I can do another live stream. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you did too. And then I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.